Hello guys, this is Uncle Bigfish, and in this video, we'll be talking about everything wrong with Night CROWS. This had been a video that I'm planning to do since the very first day of me playing the game. After all, the tall tale signs had been clear since the very start. The game did a lot of things right, but there are way more things that they did wrong. And in my opinion, a lot more of the bad outweighs the good. This video hopefully brings in some kind of attention from WeMade. Who knows, maybe they'll learn a thing or two from this video, and perhaps show some interest in fixing some of the stuff that I'll be mentioning soon. As usual, I'm a harsh critic, but fair. So, not gonna pull up any punches here. We won't be talking about technical related stuff, like lags, since that makes any unbiased argument redundant. So let's just focus on the in-game side of things, that I think needs a ton of work, or just plain stupid. Let's begin. The very first thing that we can talk about is the creed system, which is going to be this one. You see, the creed system has 6 total stats they can fill in once you grab another level. And I think that this one is a very dumbass idea. This system, at least this mechanic of the game, is completely redundant because of the fact that there is really no point in putting the 3 points in this stat. A point on any of this that you have with your class, like I'm strength, melee, so I'm gonna be putting on strength. Everything else over here just simply doesn't seem to carry enough weight. Let me give you a good example of what I mean. When you put in strength, you get accuracy, damage, crit, and damage reduction negation. So this makes you hit harder, and it makes you capable of hitting something that you probably can't hit before, due to the accuracy being present on the stat. You see, this is a pretty huge game changer when you're just a couple accuracy away from actually beating a boss that was holding you back for a long time, or perhaps if you want to farm in a place that's quite difficult to get to and your accuracy is not enough. By pumping just 1 point in strength could be the difference between you being able to or not being able to. So I don't understand how it's even useful for you to put an endurance or spirit or vitality. And to be perfectly honest, this isn't really gonna be used up even on the late game. We're getting only about 30 points by the time we get to level 30, because you're actually only getting 1 point of creed the moment you reach level 31. Which means even at max level of 60, you can only get to about 30 creed. So I don't really see any point in me putting it anywhere else aside from either strength or whatever your class is, maybe dex for bows, or mages, you'll probably go intelligence. But that's pretty much what I see. Now, what do you get from endurance? You get damage reduction, critical resistance, skill damage reduction, crit damage reduction. Why would you do this when you can simply hit harder and kill someone before they even hit you? Or perhaps, how much is this actually? To be precise, it's 1. So yeah, it doesn't really do anything, guys. It's 1. Literally, it's 1. On each. Spirit, 1. This is 20. 1, 1, 1. Vitality, 20. 1, 1, 20. It's really not worth putting it anywhere else. So I don't really see the point in all this. And to be perfectly precise, this is just a system that I feel a bit lazy. I feel like they're not really putting a lot of effort in making a creed that's somewhat useful. There is no particular element, there's nothing, it's just stats of just attack. This is pretty much just attack. Alright, next, let's talk about weapon proficiency class change system. Alright, when you want a class change, you have to go to here and you change the class to whatever the fuck you want. But when you change class, you actually lose out on things. You lose out on your weapon proficiency, because this will be reset when you change classes. It's been about a week now, and I've only gotten about 6 levels in my weapon proficiency. So this is actually quite difficult to level up. And knowing that you will actually have to reset all this when you change to a different class means that you'll be losing out on the stats and the progression that you had when you were using your previous weapon. This makes leveling or changing classes kind of too punishing for the player. So changing class is a huge no. It's a huge no-go on this game. I really don't understand why they make this the case, because this makes changing classes a bad idea. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be this. When you change class, you also lose out on your gears. To be precise, your weapon. This is a weapon for the twin sword. So when you go say bows, you can't use this no more. So goes with your sub-weapon. And one more thing that you might miss is actually the fact that the accessories have these kind of stats. Melee damage too. So if I'm changing my class to say a bow, this is not gonna work. If I change my class to say a mage, I can't use this anymore, because they're not melee. So it makes me have to change pretty much my weapon and my accessories, which is terrible. And actually, it's not just that. If you realize, if you go to, say, refinement, you'll see that you have a particular stat. And if you say you get dexterity or intelligence or strength, when you move to a class that doesn't use any of this, you have to reset all this stuff. You really do. Alright? So that's one of the things that makes a lot of changing class issues becoming a lot more apparent. It makes changing class really redundant in a way that the game punishes you for changing classes. And that's terrible. Especially in a game with so many classes that people want to try out. Now, let's talk about the next thing, which is going to be the invisible HP stat. When you want to fight players and you say you meet another player, you can't see their HP, which means you're not really sure of what kind of progression you are doing. If you're on PvP, you can't really tell if you're making a progression at all. For example, if this guy is super strong, he's got so much defense, and I've been hitting him for like say 2 minutes, because I can't see his health, I can't see if I'm actually killing him or if his health is just going up because of his potions. You can't really ever know, because you can't see the HP. This makes a battle kind of RNG based. It's like you don't even know who you're fighting against. You don't know if you actually make some kind of progression. You're just stuck. You just don't know what exactly you're doing. And this makes fight RNG based in a way that you really never know anything. Except the fact that you can somewhat hit him and it can crit or double damage, or if his attack missed. That's pretty much all the information that you got from fighting this person. Next, I'm going to talk about the no friend system. Like, this is an MMORPG game. I want to make friends in the game, but you can't, because there's no friend system in the game. What kind of MMORPG game doesn't have a friend system? It's MMO, Massive Multiplayer Open World RPG. It's supposed to be a game genre where you play with friends. I just don't understand why they won't do that. Like, there's really no merit in not adding a friend system. I just don't see how that would hurt anything. Like, next one let's talk about is skills have vague descriptions, making them a guessing game. Like, if you look at your skills, it doesn't really tell you anything. Like, say my damage skill is Surge. The target inflicts damage on the target. That's it! It doesn't tell if it's a level 1, level 2, or level 3. What's the difference? It really doesn't tell me anything. Like, I don't know shit. I don't know how much damage multiplier it does. I don't know how much base damage this thing has. I really don't know anything. I really don't. I'm just stuck with this description. The character inflicts damage on the target. That's it. Like, you can leave this blank and I'll probably still learn just the same exact stuff. When I use it on a fucking enemy, it'll do damage. But I don't know exactly how much damage it has. How much base damage it has. Or how much do I gain from leveling them up. This goes through on a lot of stuff. It doesn't tell me anything. The target inflicts damage on target. Like, what the fuck? Come on. How would I know if this blue weapon is stronger than this green skill? Is this blue skill stronger than this green skill? How much damage does it have? I don't know anything. It's so vague, and it's so funny that they don't even take the time to write these things down. I think it's a super simple thing that you can just write down based on the game data. Next, let's talk about the world. Okay, this game is super huge. All this stuff is just one map. Because now when you get to world, you see there's a lot more maps. Alright? And if you look at this, you are just a tiny little speck. You're a tiny fucking speck. That's you, a tiny dust in this map. The map is too big. And most of the map is just that. Just grass. There's nothing. Alright? The world is way too big, with nothing exceptional importance. Nothing of exceptional importance is put in any given area. It's big, it's just full of grass. That's it. Like, why don't they make the world slightly smaller so that we can traverse between areas much more quickly? Like, why do you need to make the game super big? In my opinion, this is simply artificially making the game look more complex. I think that this is just simply a messed up world building. Because I really don't see any merit in them making this world super big with absolutely nothing of importance. Next, let's talk about the quest system. Like you see here, defeat monsters. You need to kill 130 monsters. Once you finish this, you need to go to the quest, you need to click on it again to continue the next quest. And guess what? The next quest is kill 130 monsters. It would be so much better, alright, to make the quest less tedious. Like, say, make it kill 600 mobs and be done with it. Because the way it works now is, you need to come back, you need to click on it again to continue the quest, which is basically the same shit. So you need to go through the same shit again, you press it again once every, say, 10 minutes or so once you're done. You can't leave the game to AFK. You can't do that. And it's not about like, oh, you just want it easy, just want it auto. The game is auto. There is really no point in making, like, how do I put this in a way that's easy for you to understand? Alright? I just don't see any point in splitting the exact same quest description into 3 different subquests that you need to individually click. Like, there is no point in all that. Why don't they make it like kill 600 mobs, and so I can leave it be on sleep mode and leave the game for a while and come back once to do the next one? Why should I come back once every 130 kills? That's stupid, alright? That's a dumb shit idea. There's really no point. Now, last one, and the last complaint that I got is gonna be about collision issues. Your character has a collision box. Every other class, every other character has a collision box. Alright? This, especially for an MMORPG game, is a dumb shit idea. Here's why. See that you're fighting a boss in, say, Masarta Crystal Tunnel or Masarta Ice Cavern. You want to fight the boss. Alright? You fight the boss. Because you have collision box, every character has a collision box. So when you touch someone else, you can't go past them. Look at this. You see that? Do you see this? You're lucky I can still go backwards and turn around. But if there's someone behind me, then I'll be stuck there, I can't move. When you're fighting a boss, say like you're here in Tikdal, there's gonna be like 69 people hitting the boss, surrounding the boss. And if they're surrounding the boss, then you're fucked, because you can't even get to the boss. You can't even hit the boss. You can't even get to the boss, because the boss will be in the middle, and everyone's surrounding it, and if you're outside, you can't even go through to hit the boss once. You can't. You're just stuck. And that pretty much wraps things up for this video. I think that there's a lot more that I can talk about. There's a lot more things that I can diss about the game. But at the end of the day, the whole idea behind this video isn't really to cuss the game or to talk about how shitty the game is. It's simply to mention that there are a lot of things that can be made better. There are a lot of things that can be improved on. Some little quality of life. Some game mechanics that maybe should be removed completely. And I think the idea behind this video is simply to let everyone be more aware of what is going on with the game, what to expect from the game going forwards, and what kind of quality of life that the game developers might want to know the player needs. The stuff that I just mentioned is actually being mentioned not just by me, but actually by a couple of my friends who talked about it on Discord. These are a few things that I believe a lot of people can understand, and something that people can agree on en masse. And that's it from me. And I guess I'll see you guys again on the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.